Vinayak Shrivastav is the CEO and co-founder of VideoVerse, a video technology company that encapsulates an ecosystem of smart video editing tools using artificial intelligence and provides next-generation platforms for all enterprise and individual creators. He, along with his partners Saket and Alok Patil, identified a need for automation in the video content category, giving way to the inception of VideoVerse. In his current role, Vinayak spearheads the strategic goals of the company to create a profitable future roadmap. He has built the sales and marketing strategy from scratch, and under his leadership, the company has witnessed a significant growth of over 200% year on year. Armed with a BTech in Mechanical Engineering from Pune University and an MBA from London Business School, Vinayak has achieved several milestones through his prolific career. Having been a former venture capitalist, Vinayak has worked with a few startups who were in their growth stage and has successfully exited those early stage startups. An avid reader, Vinayak enjoys playing the guitar and tennis when he is not working. Currently, he is residing in Mumbai with his family and he follows the motto of everyone has stories to tell. Stories that will not only engage, inform, surprise, delight, and impact their audience, but will also deliver on measurable business goals. Let's chat with him on his entrepreneurship journey and also learn more about his startup VideoVerse. This is the Guiding Voice podcast series, the Guiding Voice for a better future. Friends, I'm your host Naveen Samala, just a fellow IT professional, but on a mission to shape the careers and lives of millions across the globe. Through the Guiding Voice, successful leaders across the globe share their knowledge and wisdom with the world, and our audience will acquire more knowledge by tuning into our podcast for every minute than any other podcast in this space. Because we drive conversations that matter, conversations that add value to your life and to your career. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we are pleased to have Vinayak Shrivastav part of our journey. Vinayak, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice.
Thanks, Naveen. Thank you for having me on the show.
All right, so Vinayak, you had some interesting background, engineering from Pune University and MBA from London Business School, right? So,
Yeah.
how has been your career journey so far? Maybe you can share brief snippets or key milestones in your career journey so far.
Sure. My journey was very different than most of the entrepreneurs because while growing up, I never thought that, I'm going to start a business of my own. My mother was a teacher. My father used to work in a bank. So we never really had that told to us in the early days that to try and do something differently would be to start a business. What we were told while we were growing up is to get a 9 to 5 job, which is going to be very, very interesting and helpful for you to get a good career and life was the most important thing. I think what really changed was after kind of finishing my education, getting into the entire VC ecosystem, that changed the way I was looking at new companies, new startups, new entrepreneurs. I think that's what really changed and got me excited about trying to start something by myself. In my career until now, I have taken a hat of trying to kind of be a simple person who was trying to solve a problem for washers, then take a problem for the media industries. And I was then a VC, did an entire flywheel, and then became an entrepreneur. So I've done everything in the journey to understand from designing to product development to product management, and then finally becoming a product manager in itself.
Awesome. And in this journey, what are top three things that have helped you to be successful?
I think what's really helped has been just staying true to what you want to build, right? Staying true to what we definitely want to achieve in the long run. What really had initially helped us and continuously keeps helping us is continuously keep listening to your inner instinct, right? There'll be so many advices, so many mentors that you will come across that will try and give you all the knowledge in the world. You need to understand what's important for yourself. And I think that's the most important thing when you're building a company is that you listen to your instincts. You definitely hear out all the advices, but you should always trust your instincts as much as possible. You should think about your colleagues, your fellow mates before you think about yourself. because they are the ones who are going to build a large enough company for you. You're not going to do it all by yourself. There's going to be a number of people that will join you on the journey that will help you become a large organization. I think these are few things that have really helped us, get to where we are right now in the Videoverse journey, at least.
Hmm. So think about others before you think for yourself. I think this is so profound, Vinayak. Now I'm also curious about some of the toughest lessons that you have learned after embarking on the entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship seems to be rosy from outside unless we get into that path. Okay, we come across so many
Yeah.
obstacles on our way and all. So likewise, have you come across any obstacles and how did you overcome them?
Quite a few, right? Like, no one will tell you when you get into this entrepreneurship journey that it's going to be a lonely one. No one is coming to solve your problems. You need to solve your problems by yourself. Everyone will give you advices, but they will not tell you how to solve them. They will expect you to solve it yourself. People usually tend to kind of think about themselves and think about what's really affecting them more than thinking about the larger vision, which is sadly the state of affair right now in which the startup ecosystem is in, not only in India but globally. It's very, very important for every entrepreneur to understand that when you start this journey, it's going to be a very long journey. It's not going to be an easy one. You don't tend to kind of get the luxury of being a social entrepreneur because if you're completely immersed into the product, it gets difficult to kind of, make do with your day to day in terms of just keeping up with your social life. So at times you will tend to kind of have a very lonely journey, very few people to chat about what's happening and what's not happening and what you really want to achieve, right?
Yeah.
uh, Everyone around you that's trying to kind of be with you will have an ulterior motive on an agenda. You need to filter a bunch of people and understand what really is important. Your time is very important, so you also need to figure out who you need to spend that time with and carefully, because
Hmm.
these are very, very important things. I think these are some toughest lessons that we have, or I have personally encountered in this entrepreneurship journey. It's just that one of the most important things while you become an entrepreneur is also your mental health, which no one really talks about.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that takes a massive toll. You're dealing with so many things on a day-to-day basis. Every day is a new start for you. You really need to kind of understand. You need to have empathy at the same time. You need to be practical about things, which is very difficult, and at times it does take like a severe effect on your mental reach outs.
Hmm. Yeah. So, Vinayak, you have brought in two important aspects. One is about long journey, because people think this guy started and he's making millions in 2 years, but they don't understand the kind of hard work that we put in for quite a long time before actually get noticed by public and all. And next aspect about mental health, yeah, this is very important. Like we cannot take a chance, and we need to find a time to really move out of that particular busy schedule and spend time with family so that you have that particular sleep time before you really get what do you call burnt out, right? So burnout is something which happens over a period of time in case if we neglect this mental health. So these are two profound thoughts which are going to stay with me. And you mentioned about this washer problem and also about media. So were there, have you started on them, or did you contribute to them in
So
any other way? Yeah.
washer was not a problem. It was actually so
Mm-hmm.
you know something that gets built in the cars, right? The
Mm-hmm.
washers, the car. So
Okay. Mm-hmm.
that washer that you build, kind of have put in the car, that
Mm-hmm.
is something that we were developing. So I was
Oh.
working in a company uh,
Mm-hmm.
way before we were starting Videoverse. In
Okay.
that, I was designing washers for
Mm-hmm.
automobile companies.
Oh, got
Uh,
it.
that is what I was doing in my previous kind of,
Mm-hmm.
setting before starting Videoverse.
Yeah, got it. And was there any other idea that you guys have tried before starting Videoverse?
Not really. I did not really kind of think about too many ideas before starting Videoverse, so I didn't really go with that entire cycle that, I tried a
Mm-hmm.
couple of products and then started.
Mm-hmm.
I just had this one journey of being an entrepreneur. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I started upon.
Yeah. Can you briefly talk about Videoverse, what it is all about?
Sure. So Videoverse today is basically an ecosystem that we're trying to build around video editing tools. So what we have understood has been that video editing has never seen too much of a change. And we are trying to kind of make it simple and easy for enterprise and for consumers. One of the core products that we have back at VideoVerse is called as Magnify, that uses AI and ML to automatically identify key moments and highlights. So if you're watching a cricket match and someone has just hit a six, we will automatically make a short clip out of it and allow you to publish it as a replay or a highlight. On the other piece, which is basically SMB, we have a manual editor on web, which basically the agenda there is that it should not be dependent on any hardware, and to have a great system that can basically continuously keep editing content on the fly and make it easy even for an 8-year-old kid to use it. That was basically the end goal. So that's what video was today. It's about building and encapsulating the entire ecosystem around video editing.
Anything for the podcast world? Anything for us?
Not yet. We hope to make something soon. Not yet.
And do you have any competitors existing in this space?
Not in India. We have a couple of competitors globally. A couple of them ended up getting acquired last year. A few of them that we go up against, but no one's really trying to solve a problem with a universal approach of trying to build an ecosystem. I think that's where we really end up differentiating.
Mm-hmm. So, what is your strategy to deal with the competition?
Very easy. I genuinely just don't like to pay attention to the competition, right? Like we have a team that really keeps a track of those things. But I myself try and kind of keep myself zoned out of the competition and what they're trying to do, because I truly believe that everyone's journey is going to be different, right? And there's no point me trying to play catch up or me trying to do something different. If we have thought about what we want to build and how we want to build, we should continuously keep doing that. I think that's how we will achieve greater superiority, rather than trying to just copy and trying to go on a similar path, or trying to say that, oh, we are better than our competitors in this segment or that segment. That's not exactly what excites me. What excites me is to just follow a clear vision and path. It's important to know what your competitors are doing, but it should not be a factor of you changing what you really are trying to build because of the competition or the
Yeah,
environment.
agreed. I think that's a wonderful point. So, just be watchful about it, but don't think too much about competition as such. All right. Now let's talk about the buzzwords of the industry: artificial intelligence and machine learning. Right. So, how is AI and ML is helping the content creation industry? And you mentioned about Magnify, your platform Magnify, which highlights the sixes that are hit in the match. Likewise, some key moments are captured using this AI ML. And are there
Yeah.
anything else which will come true by leveraging AI and ML in the content creation world?
I think there's a bunch of things that can happen in the content creation space using AI ML, right? Like, imagine how many of us we know what to do when it comes to contrast color ratio when we're editing content. We don't understand that. We want to publish content on LinkedIn, we want to publish content on Facebook or Instagram, but we don't know exactly what's really going to work on that platform, what kind of a contrast ratio and all of that we want. And we are no professional editors. What if in a world where you're able to select a platform and understand all of these settings directly and immediately push it out, right? That's exactly what basically we should be doing and working towards in the AI space. That if you're able to kind of make life easy for editors by giving them a preset understanding of how the editing should be done, I think that will solve a major problem. I think there's going to be a lot more development that will happen in the creator space. I think we just started when it comes to, just developing tools for the AI space, but it's going to be very interesting to see what really happens in the next couple of years. Content creation industry is going to go through a massive change. Look at just OpenAI and the DALI software that they've created. You can just type in text and they will give you a unique image created out of it. So you know exactly what's happening in that space right now and how aggressive and how smartly all of this is coming together.
All right. So this has been fabulous conversation, Vinayak, so far. So let's add some spice to the episode. I'm going to kick off a quick rapid fire round so that our audience will get to know other side or personal side of you. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Let me fire the first one. What is the naughtiest thing that you still remember from school or college?
Interesting. I think from school days, I remember a very particular incident that had happened, which was basically we used to be a part of the scout group, and we had like 60 boys. So I was in an all boys school with 60 boys camping in the school over the weekend, which was a part of the scout program. At night, the teacher who used to conduct all of this ended up going outside for dinner, And at that time, 60 boys left the school campus, went for a dinner to a restaurant, and came back at like 3 in the morning. And the teacher was standing there waiting for all of us. And we thought he is gone for a dinner, he'll come back tomorrow now. I think that was one of the most, I wouldn't say naughtiest, but it was one of the most interesting, exciting things that we ended up doing at that time. We took that stand of doing
Yeah,
something crazy.
yeah. So I'm sure all students must be scared by the time they saw the teacher standing there. Moving ahead, what is best piece of advice that you have received so far?
I think the best piece of advice I received so far was to zone out the noise that happens in the external world, right? There's so much activity that keeps happening around being an entrepreneur or trying to do something different. The best advice was heads down, focus on what you're building, build it for the long run, don't build it for short term. There is no immediate success. It takes time to build something. I think that was one of the best advices that I got because after that, the way I looked at things and the way I approached even product management and building within the company has been on similar lines that there is no immediate success to building anything. It takes time.
Hmm, excellent. It makes sense. Even I believe in the same principle. Like anything significant takes longer than rest of the crowd because that is something big in the making. So any massive success
Yeah.
doesn't come easily. So wonderful.
Correct.
Moving ahead, can you describe yourself in just one word, Vinay?
I think I would just describe myself as a hustler.
Hustler, wonderful. Moving ahead, if you are given unlimited funding and unlimited resources, what else will you build other than VideoVerse?
I don't think there's ever something called as unlimited funding. So that's a myth. No one's going to give me unlimited funding. But one thing definitely that excites me to continuously keep doing is, just interesting creator tools. There's so much that can be built because I have myself personally got so immersed into it that over the last couple of years, I've realized that the creator segment needs a lot of more empowering tools if they
Yeah,
want to control what they really earn and not be dependent on platforms.
absolutely. Yeah, good one. And I wish to see those kind of tools being released by you. And with that, let me fire the last one, Vinayak. What is one electronic gadget that you would like to see or invent yourself?
I would love to invent a virtual editing tool actually. That's very cool. Where you can actually edit an entire content without actually using the system, right? By just a couple of click of buttons virtually editing content. I think that'd be a very cool thing to do.
Absolutely. It will save tons of time of all the content creators
Yeah.
out there. Absolutely. Resonate with you. Wonderful. That was great rapid fire. And let me flip back to the mainstream. And before I let you go, one final question for today's conversation, Vinayak. What will be your biggest piece of advice to those aspiring to make big in their lives or careers?
I think the single most biggest advice there that I have gotten, which I like to pass on to everyone, is everyone's journey is different. Don't try and match up to other people's journey. What's most important is you should feel happy every morning when you wake up of what you're doing. Yes, there are certain things that are most important in everyone's life related to finances. I think that should be a part of motivation for you to do the right thing and do the thing that excites you rather than trying to kind of match up to other people's journey. The day you stop comparing your journey with others, you will be the most happiest person.
I loved every bit of this, and you have added a lot of value to our podcast. And really appreciate your time and all the insights that you have shared. Thank you so much for being part of our journey, Vinayak.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
All right, so that was a fascinating conversation with Vinayak about his entrepreneurship journey and about the platform VideoVerse. And I strongly recommend you to go and check the VideoVerse platform. The link will be available in the show notes. And folks, before we move into the trivia section, here's a request as always. Please subscribe to us in case if you haven't done already. Also, if you have enjoyed this conversation and found it useful, request you to share with at least three of your friends or colleagues who can benefit from our platform, The Guiding Voice. So thank you so much in advance. Now let's hop into the trivia segment of today's episode. So today we had spoken briefly about Videoverse and other content creation stuff. I would like to present you a trivia about TikTok. TikTok is one of the most popular content creation platform existing in the world today, and TikTok's meteoric rise across the world had an interesting start. Actually, it was launched in 2016 as Douyin, and it has grown to become one of the most popular social apps. It has been downloaded more than 3 billion times. And like if you segregate those numbers, app was downloaded 2.6 billion times all over the world, and this was reported by Sensor Tower in December 2020. But we are in 22, so this figure has easily topped the 3 billion mark by now. And in Jan 2021 alone, the app was downloaded more than 62 million times. And on top of that, during the first 6 months of 2021, TikTok was downloaded a whopping 383 million times. That is about the downloads part. And now let's talk about the engagement rate per post. According to data from Upfluence, the TikTok's engagement rate is significantly higher than other major networks including Insta, YouTube and FB. Micro-influencers on the platform charge considerably less but are able to achieve higher engagement rates of around 18%. So if you were to compare that with engagement rates of Instagram, it is just 3.86%, whereas YouTube's engagement rate is 1.63%, which means TikTok is doing really well in terms of engaging their audiences and keeping that conversation on between the creators as well as the consumers. That's all for today. Thank you so much for joining me. In case if you have any topic recommendations or guest speaker suggestions, please feel free to reach out to me through social media by searching for Naveen Samala or email us at theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com. Friends, I'm your host Naveen, a fellow IT professional but a passionate learner on a mission to shape the careers and lives of millions across the globe. Until next time, bye-bye. See you all in the next episode with another wonderful, inspiring